I remember when used to go to CES to help out, which is like electronic game show, and then you had your passes, and when you sign up for it, you get to pick the title like Mister, Mrs., Miss, Doctor, and there is an honorable someone
Ooh.
something. How do you get that? The
Oh, buddy.
honorable something something honorable something. You know what I mean?
If you're a judge,
How do you get
maybe?
that title.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Is it only that? Oh, damn.
Get on the
I think
research
you
team.
have to be a judge. And speaking of judge, you know what that sound means, people. It's time to start the show.
Did you hear that one this time, Shao? Probably not.
No.
And listen, the show today, my goodness. We were kind of thinking about what we're going to do this week. And Hayden reminded me, hey, we haven't done the episode on procrastination yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, damn, that's a good idea. And so we were thinking about doing a show on procrastination.
That's right.
But then these two, Shao and Hayden, got into quite a heated argument about
Oh,
Yeah.
so heated. So heated.
Pokemon. And so we thought we would get into that instead of procrastination. But procrastination maybe next week. Because we need to solve this, and we need to solve it right now. Now, listen, I know nothing about Pokemon. So when this came up, whew,
My heart's racing right now for some reason.
Shao is sweating.
I'm sweating, man.
Order in the podcast. Order in the podcast. Welcome to the Honorable Court of Unpopular Pokemon Opinions, where truth, logic, BS, and completely subjective fan arguments shall collide in glorious combat. Today's case, the people versus Bulbasaur. On the docket, Shao claims Bulbasaur is the absolute worst starter Pokemon of all time. The absolute worst.
Case closed. Okay, next episode.
Hayden argues that Bulbasaur is not the worst starter and that the Pokemon, he does not deserve such slander. Presiding over this very serious, very nerdy matter, me, your totally unbiased Pokemon ignorant judge, jury, and possibly executioner of weak arguments. Co-hosts, you will now present your opening statements. You may argue, roast, defend, lie, or emotionally manipulate me, but beware, PokeCourt does not tolerate weak sauce, baseless nostalgia, or slanderous Squirtle propaganda. I will give you each 3 minutes max. Yes, there will be a timer to present your opening arguments, and then we're going to go into a series of questions where I will secretly score who I think won each question, each argument. You'll do closing statements, and then the judge will make his ruling. Any questions?
Yes, I would like to be referred to as future Dr. Woody,
No.
if it so pleases the court.
Do you guys, who would like to argue first, or shall we flip a coin?
Do you have a coin handy?
you know me.
Whenever
just-
Justin walks around, you hear jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, because he has a
Just keep
pocket
coins up.
full of coins.
Or this. Whoever opens first in the opening argument can close in the closing argument. We'll flip.
Sure.
I have a remote controller. The side with the buttons will be side with the buttons. The side without buttons will be the side without buttons.
Okay.
How you call it in the air.
Okay.
If you get it right, you choose. If you lose, the other person chooses.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep. Button.
It's no button.
Okay.
You need video
He's
proof.
giving us video proof, yeah.
Okay.
No buttons. I'm going
Okay,
to...
so Hayden, you choose if you want to open or close.
Oh. I'm going to let Shao open today.
So
Okay.
he will get to. Oh, sorry. Whoever opens also gets to close.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Shao do both. He's gonna
Okay.
convince me and the court.
And the court.
All
All right, listeners. We'll do a poll after this to see who you guys thought. I don't know if you guys know anything about Pokemon. I certainly don't, because I had sex in high school once. I mean, I was sort of. Anyways, let's get on with the case. So, Shao, your
Did
3
you catch
minutes,
them all?
just to throw them off a little bit before.
All the diseases, he caught them all. All right.
Your time begins now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, where do I begin? First of all, for those of you who don't know or are unaware, when you start the game, we're talking about the early game, the very first Pokemon game, Red or Blue. There are 2 different games, and each one has certain Pokemon that can only be found in either Red or Blue game. Now, both games you start off the option with 3 Pokemon. You can pick Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Charmander. Bulbasaur being grass type, lame. Squirtle being water type, and Charmander being fire. Now, what do people mean when they say worst Pokemon? Is it this the design? Is it the move set? Is it strength? Now, all 3 of them have pros and cons, but Bulbasaur is built to be the all-around Pokemon. Squirtle being highest defense and Charmander being highest offense. Now, why I say he's the worst is for all the topics I just mentioned, he is ranked the worst, I think. Design-wise, okay, he's a fucking plant. Bulbasaur is this little bitch, small-ass Pokemon with a bulb on its back, a garlic bulb on its back, and he whips people vines. Cool. His move set, okay, he puts things to sleep. He poisons people, does little damage. The whip doesn't really even help later on. People say, oh, he's a great starter Pokemon because the beginning is easier with him. No, it's easier with Squirtle, okay, because the first gym is a rock type gym, okay, and water is strong against rock. Sure, you have a few move sets here and there for Bulbasaur to use against rock, but it's not very good. Okay, Charmander does have a harder time to start at the beginning, but he evolves into the strongest Pokemon there is, starter type, because he has a wide move set. He can fly. There are certain moves called HMs, Your Honor, where you need to have them to progress. HMs, there's one called Surf that allows you to swim, Strength that allows you to move boulders, and you can fly. I'm only naming a couple, but Charizard can use 3 of those HMs, whereas Bulbasaur can only use, or Venusaur can only use like 1 or 2. So you just need a bigger support with Bulbasaur as your starter.
It is time. Thank you, Shao, for your opening argument. Hayden, are you ready for your
Oh
opening
yeah, I'm ready
argument,
to
your
go.
opening
I'm ready to
statement?
roll. I'm ready to roll. I don't think I'll need
Okay,
3 minutes to win this argument, but
It's 3 minutes. 3 minutes max.
3 minutes
So if
max.
you want to rest before the 3 minutes? That's totally fine. Your 3 minutes will begin now.
My 3 minutes. Well, I gotta say that 3 minutes that the opposition had there had him sweating, and I know he likes his fire types, but that's why he's a little hot on the collar. Anyway, I'm not going for personal slanders just yet, but my argument is that of the 3 starter Pokemon of Generation 1, now when I was growing up, I had Pokemon Yellow, which is slightly different in starters. You get a Pikachu, but I'm not here to argue whether that one is the best. Of the 2 original, the red and the blue, yes, you'll have Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. Now, my argument of why he's not the worst is in fact for new players and new people introduced to the game. Your first 2 gym battle people are Brock and Misty, rock ones and water type. Now, as Shao mentioned, Bulbasaur is not the greatest against the rock, but he can do damage to the ground and the rock type Pokemon as a grass type. So he's got a 1-up there, and then he has definitely got a 1-up on the water type. So to progress into the game well enough and to build up your, experience points to your starters, he's going to get you past the first 2 gym leaders. Boom. Whereas Charmander, because we're talking about starters, it doesn't matter where Charmander ends up as Charizard. We're talking about starters here. He's not too good for the first couple of gyms. So he's going to make it really hard for you. So all I'm saying is that for a starter Pokemon, not what he's going to evolve into, as a starter, Bulbasaur is your best bet to progress and learn the mechanics of the game and enjoy it as a new player before you move on. He also has some of the best moves to defeat anyone. He's also, because he's grass, but he also has poison moves. And Shao mentioned one actually. He has sleep, so you can put one to sleep. He can use sludge moves, but he also has Leech Seed, which is one of the best attacks, where it can suck the energy from your opposition. And that means that they can't do anything for an entire move. So you can put them to sleep, and then you can leech their energy away, and then boom. And he also has Solar Beam, which is diabolically good, if the TV show taught us anything. But I'm going to leave it there, because that's my arguments for why he is one of the best starters.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hayden, for your opening argument. Damn. 57 seconds? 2 minutes and 57 seconds didn't take all that. I got to tell you guys, as somebody who knows nothing, quite literally nothing about Pokemon, you've already got me very interested in it. Because what you're saying is all so foreign to me. So I'm digging it. Okay, we're going to move on now to 3 rounds of questions. And at first, I was just going to ask you each to answer the question, but I could see both of you cringing, literally cringing. Shao almost fell out of his seat when Hayden made a comment. He was so disgusted by it. So I thought it might be fun to ask you guys the question. And maybe I won't let you guys go too long. You can answer the question, and then I'll let you guys do like a live battling argument until I feel like I should
Live
probably
Pokemon
stop.
battle.
Yeah. We'll try it. We'll try different things.
Try.
Okay. So round 1, okay? The foundations. I'm going to ask this to you first, Shao.
Okay.
What makes a starter Pokemon good? Okay. So your argument would be why Bulbasaur fails this criteria. What makes a Pokemon starter good?
Hayden brought up a point where we were debating the starter Pokemon, and all 3 of these Pokemon in the first game has 2 more evolutionary, what do you call it? Two evolutions. They can turn into bigger forms and a biggest form. Okay. So even though we are debating the starter Pokemon, it's part of their DNA as you progress that you will eventually turn into these evolutionary bigger Pokemon. So when you start and you get to pick, you have the option. If you don't know the game, you will most likely look at the design first and base it off that. Okay, I think a lot of people did that. Charizard is a fucking flying dragon with a huge flame on its tail. Okay, I do want to also point out, Hayden, that your Pokemon, your Bulbasaur, doesn't even have its own fucking game to start off with. Yeah, there is a Pokemon.
Order.
Okay.
Order.
It got too personal.
Please
Got
do
too-
not address him directly at this point. You're
Correct,
to answer
okay.
the question, what
My bad.
makes a starter Pokemon good and why Bulbasaur fails to meet this criteria. I won't be having this.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Let
Yes.
that be a warning.
So what makes a starter good Pokemon good is, for me, design. Okay, the overall look of it. Like I said before, he looks like a little bitch with a fucking garlic bulb on its back. And the initial move set, I guess, it's kind of the same as for all three of them. They all have things that could lower the defense or raise your speed, and scratches here and there. There's leer or whatever, and then you eventually learn as you level up a little bit more elemental move set. So picking the first Pokemon, I believe, is very much based on the design.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that. Thank you very much. Hayden, what makes a storter? A distant cousin of starter.
I want the whole question addressed in that accent. A starter.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I could probably never do it again, even if I heard it. What makes a starter Pokemon good? And why? And why would somebody else fit this criteria better than Bulbasaur?
Why would another one be better than him? I'm not saying he's my favorite because, like I mentioned in my opening address, that I had Pokemon Yellow, which means my starter was Pikachu. But what... I understand where Shao's coming from, where he says Charmander turns into a badass flying dragon. Yeah, that's an awesome reason to choose it. But it would also depend on... There's probably a lot more, I guess, female fans, I'm generalizing here, on Bulbasaur's cuteness, because he's a flower and he's a little lizard-looking thing. He's a cute-looking Pokemon. And Squirtle, I mean, he ends up turning into Blastoise, who's also a badass giant turtle with water cannons on his back. So I get that point on choosing the final form evolution as a draw card. But there's more than just a visual of it. There is what is the mechanics of it, I guess. Some people don't want to take the time to level up one that's not going to be as strong initially. Others want to be able to go straight away in, and like I was saying, so that's why they would choose Bulbasaur over the other two. But if you wanted to like wander around the Johto region and build up your hit points, you'd pick one of the other ones. So I've gotten lost in my own argument here, but I'm saying it is a visual thing, but it is also what's the word for it? Not an economical thing, but you're going to look at the mechanics of what you need to succeed in the games. You're going to pick that. You know, there are some people that are brainy that way when it comes to games. But they'll pick the ones that'll have, you know, not just this game, but it's like, oh, I want to get this because I can get this potion or this weapon upgrade and this whatever because it's going to help me. I used to be like that with certain games. I would just go straight out power because that's how I would think. Whereas my brother was a much smarter gamer and he would be, you know what, I'm going to be a little less heavy with the artillery. I'm going to be a little bit quicker in my movements. And the same goes with Pokemon here. You can get one that is strong and whatever, but it's not going to be as fast. And literally is like there are speed attacks versus, you know, you just flat out big ones. Because, you know, if your hit points or your experience points aren't high enough, your attacks might miss anyway. It happens so many times to me where I would, and it's like, oh, you know, whatever, like your attack missed or whatever it used to say, or was ineffective. And
okay,
I talk too much to make you forget what my argument was.
You know what? Listen, I want you guys to think. I want to, like, I know nothing about Pokemon. You're trying to win me over. It was what makes a starter Pokemon good, and I got lost. I'm not gonna lie.
But you see, you changed the question for me.
No, what makes a starter Pokemon good, Shao's was argue why Bulbasaur fails to
Isn't
meet the
good.
criteria,
Mhm.
and then yours is the opposite. Anyways,
Fair
let's move on to the
Fair
next
enough.
question.
I got myself
I'm not
lost.
directing that. No. I was lost in all of it.
In the awe of it all.
In the-
Wow.
And the,
Rainbow.
okay. This is a question for both of you.
Okay.
If I was picking a starter based on vibes only, why should or shouldn't I avoid Bulbasaur? On vibes only. Yeah, go ahead. Shao, take it.
Vibes only is it's tough because at the very beginning you don't even get to see the Pokemon. You see 3 balls in front of you and you click on them and then you see a really crappy Game Boy kind of edition of the artwork of what they should look like, right? And so this part of it, when you are picking, and back then, ladies and gentlemen, when this game came out, there weren't, of course there is internet, but there isn't as much information about the game. There isn't as much, as soon as it released, it wasn't like you can just get the, what do you call those books, the hint books that kind of tell you how the mechanics work and stuff like that. So you are strictly going off of instinct, maybe even the name, the vibes, as you say, the design of it. And so you get to go through each one. You get to get, Professor Oak asks you, do you want Bulbasaur? Yes or no? And you can go to number 2 and check, do you want Squirtle? He's good, has water, blah, 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 blah. And then the third one is Charmander with fire, blah, blah, blah. So
let me ask you this.
one more.
Yeah.
Vibes wise, water party, fire party, or leaf crap. What kind of vibe do you want? Oh yeah, let's fucking do a leaf party. It's cool. Not. Sorry.
Just want to clarify, we're not talking about the marijuana leaf, right?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, am I okay to jump right in?
Yeah, please. Why
What I'm hearing straight
should I
away
pick
here,
Bulbasaur for vibes?
for vibe-wise, I just want to point out first that it sounds like Shao is a bit of a pyro. He likes to burn stuff, and he doesn't like the environment.
Objection. This is slander. This is personal slander. I will not take that.
That's my 1 for 1. We're back on it now.
Sustained. Back to the topic.
Back to the topic.
Here.
Vibe-wise.
What vibe? So he gave me the vibes why I
Vibe.
shouldn't pick Bulbasaur. What are the vibes that I should pick Bulbasaur?
So vibe-wise, I just want to, before I go into vibes, I want to go back onto something that Shao said about that Bulbasaur doesn't have his own game. Is this technically a lie? Because when they re-released the games, they had a leaf green version, which is the Bulbasaur version. So he got his own one. He got his own one.
No objection. Okay, noted.
Yeah, eventually he got his old one. 'Cause
Eventually.
little bitches like you were being.
It's
all-
because...
Okay, sorry. that was
Objection. He was going after my character again.
Sustained. Quiet over there.
Little bitches. That's how many times is that? I should need a little counter. Ding, 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 ding. So
That's it, the
vibe
judge has
checks.
to drink every time.
Vibe checks. Bulbasaur obviously gained popularity enough to get his own re-release of the original Red and Blue games. They took away Squirtles and they gave it to Bulbasaur, or all Leaf Pokemon. Now for vibe, I mentioned it previously. He's a flower. He's flower power, man. He's a little green turtle-looking thing with a flower on his back. It's awesome. It's not the most badass character design, but he's cool. You look at him and he's cool. And if you pair his character with that of the television show, because we haven't been specifically locked into the games only. So Bulbasaur on the TV show was also a badass. There's a whole episode on each one of them specifically that Ash gets a hold of. But Bulbasaur's one is cool because he specifically fights against evolution because he doesn't want to change who he is. He doesn't want to move up and become too strong for his trainer, i.e. like Charmander does, he becomes just an arrogant little Charmeleon, and then Charizard, who's not controlled at all by Ash. So, you know, if you like to be dominated, then maybe you would go for a Charmander and a Charizard. But for those of those that like to be partners with their Pokemon, you go for your Pikachus and you go for your Bulbasaurs that do not want to evolve. So his vibe to me is very cool. He's very individual in that he wants to stay as how he is, or she. I think that there can be both genders nowadays in the Pokemon world. Because in that first gen there was like only specific ones that were male and female, and they had different names like Nidorina and Nidoran or whatever. Anyway, I'm digressing. But vibe check, that's him. He's flower power, he's individual, he's loyal, and he doesn't want to change who he is just to be stronger.
Nice. Okay. Ooh. Shao's letting one rip, or he's not happy with what Hayden said. So I think for this, we're going to move on to round 2 here for time, okay? I had 4 questions originally in that first round. We got through 2, but I want to move on to round 2 because I can see the pain you guys have wanting to just curse out the person sitting across from you.
Little bitch boys.
So round 2 is going to be Battle of the Banter. I'm going to let you two go at it. I'm going to ask you a question. And I'm going to ask it to Shao, actually. I'm going to ask it to Shao. And Hayden, feel free. The floor is open for you to jump in and just argue with him. And you guys, I'll let you go swing it out. And eventually I'll call it and we'll move on. Okay?
Oh.
Shao? What's the single most embarrassing thing about Bulbasaur?
Oh, he has to.
You know why I'm thinking is because there's so much. It's just like, where do I start?
The beginning.
Yeah, the beginning. But at the same time, the most embarrassing thing is, I think Hayden kind of touched on it. It's like if you ask a 5-year-old child, do you want your starter Pokemon? Which one do you want? Do you want one that turns into a dragon and breathes fire? Do you want one that shoots crazy water cannons and then can swim? Or do you want one that kind of fucking sprinkles little poison stuff here and there and whips things and shoots seeds out of its back? Hayden did bring up a point that, yeah, Bulbasaur turns into what we call Ivysaur, and then Venusaur. And Venusaur has a giant sort of flower on its back. Bulbasaur just has the bulb, like I said, hence the name, like a freaking garlic. And I think that's the most embarrassing thing, is just the fact that it looks useless. It is useless. So
You're just gonna let him say that?
I'm waiting for him to get to a point that I'm not going to have to.
I mean, I feel like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember, there's a time limit on this. This is.
Oh, I didn't know there was a time limit. I didn't know there was a time limit. Sorry.
Oh.
Oh, you did. You probably did mention it. And I should have learned from previous episodes.
I want that.
Yeah.
Previous episodes, you did tell me to jump in whatever. So
Yeah.
that giant flower on the back has one of the most, like I mentioned earlier, one of the most devastating attacks that you will come across.
That takes 2 turns to charge.
And if he puts you to sleep with the first one with the sleep powder, won't matter. Sleep powder, you're asleep for a whole turn.
But then a trainer can take the Pokemon back and bring someone in.
That doesn't really sound like you've got much of an argument other than to pull him out of there. I know you're a man of pulling him out, but ain't nothing wrong.
Okay,
with
let's end
Bulbasaur.
Let's end it there. Let's end it there. Let's end it there. Okay, let me just see about the little scorecard. Very good. Yes, that is.
The scorecard.
Don't let.
Keep going. Keep going.
Go at it. Go at it.
Go at it. I will say, Charizard.
I'm going to ask you this question, Hayden.
Yep.
If one starter had to be erased from existence, who would it be?
Oh, it is a tough one. Just from the original 3, or can I? Because I've brought in Pikachu into my
it's not
arguments that I
Pikachu.
can include him.
How about why the other two?
Why the other 2 should be excluded? Either Charmander
Yeah.
or Squirtle.
Yeah.
As starters, well, I feel like I mentioned the fact that a Bulbasaur
Feelings, hey?
feelings.
Feelings.
Facts. Bulbasaur is the strongest one for the first 2 gyms. Now, in your travel of that journey, you will come across a water type, and you most likely will come across a fire type. So you'll be able to pick those 2 starters in the wild. So either one of them could be gone from the... So if you were given a choice of 2, I would probably, funnily enough, go with water and grass because one feeds the other. Now, if there was such a thing as like tag team Pokemon in the first generation, I don't know if there is now, which would be kind of cool if you could do like a Tekken tag thing. Squirtle could rejuvenate a Bulbasaur's, training. He wouldn't be able to do it the other way around, but I would remove.
Why should
Charmander.
Bulbasaur be out of existence, Shao?
Bulbasaur should be out of existence because the
Facts, not
His-
feelings.
his type is so easily catchable. You don't really find fire Pokemon at the beginning of the game. You find bug Pokemon, which kind of is a sister element of the grass type. They share some similar moves like the sleep and like the poisons. So you don't really need him in the beginning. And I think the original elements, you don't really hear people talking about grass element. You hear more
Earth.
of like earth. I mean, there's earth type Pokemon as well. There's ground type, but yeah, you don't need Bulbasaur. You really don't need Bulbasaur. I understand. Okay, I want to make this point that Bulbasaur in the Pokédex is number 1. Okay, he is number 1. Ivysaur number 2, and then 3, and then Squirtle is 4, 5, 6, and then Charmander is whatever. But as you know, that old playground rhyme: first is the worst, second
Ooh,
is the best.
wow.
And
He's throwing it. He's
So-
throwing
I've
it
never
in.
heard that,
I'm
and I must
saying-
gotta say, I'll let you finish your point before.
you never
I-
heard of that, Justin? Have you heard of that?
Oh,
First
yeah.
is the worst, second is the best, and third is there's few
Third is a
variations
nerd.
of the third.
Yeah.
But so Hayden hasn't heard of that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they just gave Bulbasaur number 1 because I felt bad, like
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Can
Okay,
I do a
let's
quick
move on.
retort? A quick retort to that.
Oh, I want to hear your retort.
I'm gonna say no because you asked. I'm gonna say no because you
I'm
asked.
just gonna go ahead and say it anyway. For someone who is so much of a fan of Charmander, you got his order in the Pokédex wrong. He's 3, he's 4, 5, 6, and then it's Squirtle and his
Yeah,
evolutions.
you're right. But that doesn't really
All right.
change my. So
And
that
it
even makes
means you
better.
don't really
So
care too
first-
much about
that
where
means-
he
that
is in
means
the
first is
Pokédex.
worst, second is the best. So that rhyme is very legitimate when it comes to.
You
Facts.
actually legitimize his
Yeah,
rhyme.
yeah,
His-
thank you for pointing that out. Thank
his
you.
playground
and-
square.
For his playground rules, yeah. But for the fact that he didn't know that his was the best, quote unquote, speaks volumes to whether or not he believes his argument.
Let's move on. Okay. I want you guys to compare. You're trying to convince me to pick Bulbasaur or to not pick Bulbasaur as a starter. So Shao, you're trying to convince me to not pick him. Hayden, you're trying to convince me to pick him. But by comparing it to a phase in middle school. Does that make sense? Not easy putting you on the spot.
to a phase in middle school.
Yeah, so you're
you
going to
give an
compare him
example?
to a phase in middle school to me, Shao, that would make me not want to pick him. And Hayden will compare him to a phase in middle school that would make me want to pick him.
Can you give me an example, like what you mean? Because I grew up in a country that didn't have middle school, so I don't know what exactly.
You're one of those. Okay.
I'm one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, technically we did, because we had
let's say
seven to
a
10.
phase you go through in that coming of age in your life. So you'd want to compare it to something good. Like, I don't want to give you your arguments, but we can move on. This is a tough one, based on giving you guys no time or prior knowledge of this question. So maybe we can come back to it. We'll see.
Well, okay.
Oh, you got one?
Well, I'm just gonna say that in middle school, there's a lot of, you're in a whole new environment. Just like when you start the game, it's a brand new game. When we first got it, Hayden, back in the day, nothing really like it. It's an RPG, okay? It's kind of like when you go into middle school, you've been to school before, just not this world, this whole brand new thing. You're entering new school, new people, everyone else is probably older than you, because you're going to the, middle school and a new chapter of your life. And so by getting Pokemon, I kind of compare it with that, just because it's exciting. There's a lot of unknowns. And in school, in middle school, during lunchtime, there are cliques. Okay? Do you want to be with the cool kids, the jocks, or do you want to be with the losers? Choosing Bulbasaur is social suicide. You will get bullied. You might have some dark thoughts and stuff like that eventually. You grow into someone that's really big and ugly and slow. He has warts, by the way. Venusaur has warts all over his face, or his arms
in middle
and stuff
school?
like that.
Oh.
So it's like acne. You know what I mean? You don't want that all over you. So you want the cool. You want Squirtle, or you want Charmander. You want to grow and evolve into someone that's cool and demands attention, and you have power, and you're effective. You want people to like you. It's not the most important thing. Yeah, you can get by being a nerd, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough time.
Shao, thank you for your argument.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hayden, the floor is yours.
The floor is mine. All right. I want to say that being the coolest kid on the block never works out the way you want it to. And even if you do think you're cool, you tend to end up being a loser when you're older. So why not approach it from when you enter that new phase of your life as a phase, because we'll go through this throughout life, of finding ourselves, developing our identity. And you start that when you start getting to a certain age, which for middle school, I'm guessing is what grade? Is it grade 8 or is it grade 7? Or is it earlier?
6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8. Okay. So in Australia, the high school that in my state was 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to use that as my middle school, because we would go do 11 and 12 in a different school. So sort of the same, a little bit a year later. But anyway, it is those early formative years that you develop your identity and your style, and you see yourself blossoming into something bigger, more skilled, more talented, much like Bulbasaur's evolution. He starts off with just a bulb, nothing. That's the first year of your middle school. And as you progress, your flower grows on your back, and then boom, by the end of it, you're fully fledged, you've got your identity and your individuality, which then probably might get stamped upon the next stage you go into high school. But at least you've got it developed through that middle school period. And it gives you that identity so that you can find your cliques of your people when you do go across. Your freaks and geeks, as it will be, because that's ultimately what's going to happen. You're going to switch sides multiple times, but you're going to come out knowing who you are. Not just some badass who thinks he's cool, because ultimately people behind your back are going, he's actually a bit of a loser, or he's, So that's my Bulbasaur is.
You guys made both very good arguments. I just thought, I haven't really commented too much about your argument so far, but I feel like I need to, because there was a moment in Shao's argument where I was like, well, I might as well already score him the win on this one. What's Hayden gonna do? And then you come on and I'm like, fuck, man. You guys are making it very difficult for me. So good on you. Let's move on. Okay, next question. Shao, I know I'm starting with you a lot.
That's okay.
But
I just felt the natural
a lot of
progression.
these are related directly to Bulbasaur.
Okay.
Why would Bulbasaur make the worst roommate? I'm living with Bulbasaur. What? Why?
First of all, you're gonna be plugged the whole time. Are you kidding me? Those spores, that's just gonna be all over the place.
Ugh.
He is clunky, or sorry. Let's just start with Bulbasaur. Let's not worry about Ivysaur.
No.
Just Bulbasaur. Functionality, I'm only gonna focus on Bulbasaur because there's just so many functions that a Charmander and Squirtle can help with. Okay. But why Bulbasaur would make the worst roommate? Again, I'm speaking for myself, and I know a lot of people who have allergies, and it gets really bad during springtime. But if you have Bulbasaur year-round, 24/7, 365, to the point where Aleve and like Zyrtec and Reactant is not going to do shit for you, okay? I'm trying to take another approach to this. What can he do that's helpful? Reach high places with his stupid little vines. I don't know. Oh, cool. A ladder can do that, but he is short and stubby. Has to be on all fours. Kind of waddles around. That bulb is gonna knock shit over. And if you hear, I don't know if you heard or watched any of the cartoons with your kids or whatever, maybe not, but if you hear his voice and his calls, oh man, ugh. Bulbasaur, like fuck off, like it's just like a little child following the whole time, like just, you know what I mean? So it's
already up for you though.
Yuck.
Question. Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
gross.
yes,
I feel like I need to shower. Warts aren't transmittable through the shower, are they?
That was Venus.
definitely
That
are.
was Venusaur.
no.
That was Venusaur.
But that's what you have to look forward to. You're like, oh, it's not just the spores from the bulb. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse.
Okay, I gotta cut you off there. Hayden, why would Bulbasaur make a good roommate?
Okay, I need to retort some of Shao's points first. The official
Go for it.
Pokedex has Bulbasaur at a height of 2 foot 4 inches and 15.2 pounds.
Ooh,
It
I
has-
like facts.
It
Here we
has
go.
it has Charmander at a height of 2 feet, so only 2 or whatever that was, 4 inches shorter, but 18.7 pounds. So he's a little chonk. So he is going to be in the way more than a Bulbasaur is. His little tail's going to fly everywhere and it's going to set things on fire, which goes back to my earlier personal slanderous attack of maybe Shao likes to burn stuff. But I'm going to leave it there. Bulbasaur would make a good roommate year round. And what is all of this like low evolutionary people that suffer from allergies? I don't suffer from allergies. I don't care.
Oh, just fucking firing shots at everybody now. Let's go.
So I get it. I get it. My brother suffers from seasonal allergies, as does Alex. But I've never had problems with that. So for me,
Don't go backwards. Don't go backwards.
he would be
Double down.
he would be a
Double down.
great roommate for me because I don't suffer from allergies. But if I ever had like sleep issues, I could just be like, "Can you sleep powder me? You know, put me to sleep." Boom. If I had some, you know, if I was at like say. I had a little habit where I like to grow plants on the side. Maybe I could get them to sunbeam my plants whenever I wanted to help them grow, you know. And then I would invite Shao over with his Charmander to smoke those plants. But but Bulbasaur, and yeah, like you said, his vines are great for
he
getting
can
all
grow
kinds of
marijuana
stuff.
plants and
Yeah.
give me sleeping medication. I've heard enough. Let's
All
move. No,
right.
kidding.
Let's
Continue.
move on.
No.
And, you know, who knows? Maybe some people, not me, would like to be, they like the whipping action of his vines. Who knows? You know, that would make him a very good roommate.
I do want to say one thing when you just really quick, solar beam. Okay.
Yes.
Solar beam is his most powerful move that can destroy things
Yeah.
easily.
So
So
just
you
use a
don't
little
want
bit.
that
Just
shit.
use a little bit.
You can, like,
Please,
blow
please
things
solar
up.
beam. Please solar beam my plants. Boom. Side of the wall gone. Ah, that's all right. We'll build a new one.
Look, a window.
Yeah. But I think he would be great for that. He's a plant. We all, you know, in this day and age, it's all about growing your own, you know, own stuff to avoid the costs of going to the grocery store. So why would you not want a plant, grass-based animal Pokemon that could help with that? And he's got many other great talents. He can hold stuff. He can lift you with, you know, why use a ladder when you can have a Bulbasaur lift you up with his vines? Like, it's all about less function for me. Work smarter, not harder.
Very good, very good. Okay, let's end that question there. Both good arguments. Hayden, I'm going to ask you this question first. Okay? What is a job, a real world job, that Bulbasaur would be surprisingly good at or surprisingly succeed at?
He would be a very good firefighter without the water. Like, as in, he'd be like the truck or the ladder. He would be the ladder, like I just mentioned. Or a wind, yeah. Because he would be able to lift you up. He'd be able to lift you up.
Hold on, let me check the tape on that. He would be a very good firefighter, except the water.
Without the
Bulbasaur
water.
is weak against what?
He's weak against fire. I said for the truck version. He would be good
So
at
he'd make
lifting
a very
you up.
good fire truck.
A
Okay,
very good
Shao,
fire truck. Can I not
what
expand?
do you...
This is what I get for not getting time to think. Fire truck.
Yeah. No, hey, you never know. Sometimes if you make me laugh and you just really make me laugh, I will probably give you the win, because who doesn't love a good laugh? What is a job he would fail miserably at, Shao?
Fire truck.
A firefighter?
Yes, I was hoping.
I didn't say firefighter. Fire truck.
A fire truck.
He would
Yes.
lift Squirtle up. He would lift Squirtle up.
I wouldn't have even thought of that answer because it was so far away from. If you asked me what Bulbasaur would be good at, it would be so far away from that. Like anything close to fire. What he would be really bad at is a lot of things. But I can't top that. I think you have to give Hayden the point in that one because that made me laugh too. I'll forfeit the point in that one. He would be a horrible fire truck.
If he had to
He'd be a
go into
horrible
the fire, yeah. But from a distance, he might be okay. He might.
Well, yeah, they're embers, you know what I mean, that go in the air, and it was, you know, ugh, and I'm like, Bulbasaur, and run away.
Charmander.
The fire was started by Charmander.
Yeah. He's just sitting on the side.
Very good. Just chilling. Okay, let's start with you, Shao.
Okay.
If Bulbasaur were a person at a party, what would he be doing?
I'm literally thinking what Hayden would do at a party.
Be awesome.
I think, okay, in all honesty, I think each three of them will have something handy to do. I'm trying my best to do something to be nice about it. I think Bulbasaur is the guy who will get people stuff. Oh, did you leave your drink there? Oh, let me use my little whips to get it. Here you go. You know, that's as nice as I'm gonna get for Bulbasaur
What if he's
here.
a person though? He's not the Pokemon.
Okay,
he's
okay,
a person.
so okay, sorry.
He's physically
That's-
a person. You're taking his vibe, his energy, how you see him.
First
You're
of-
putting
okay.
him in a human form, and he's at a party.
Okay,
Who is
so
he?
people would first say, "How did you get invited here? Who invited you? Who are you? Why are you here?" After that, you would most likely be in the corner, asking people, "What's that? What's alcohol taste like?" And when he tries it, is it supposed to burn like this? What time does this go till? Can I get a ride from anyone? Can I borrow someone's phone so I can call my mom to pick me up? That no one ever wants them at a party because it adds nothing to the party. It's a bit of a vibe kill, mood kill, that kind of thing. But most he can do is maybe he'll have some weed. Okay, maybe that's a plus. Let's focus on that a little bit. But that plus is gonna be shitty weed. It's gonna be dried up and like you've had that.
We
before.
call it
It's just
ditch weed.
What's the point? Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Hayden, you go.
Very good. Aiden, same question to you.
So yeah, he probably would be the guy with the weed, but it would be bomb ass dope weed because he is nothing but a green thumb. He would know exactly. He would be Dr. Green Thumb, and I'd be rolling down Dr. Woody, the two doctors in the house. Anyway, Bulbasaur, I feel at a party, if he was human, he would be the guy that, yeah, he would stand back, but he would observe. And then you would see the pretty girl that had all the guys around her, and she would be like the one like, who's got a drink for me? And then boom, Bulbasaur would be the one in there with his Ivy whips, with the drink, or with the lighter for the cigarette. And he would be the like super cool dude that would just cut through all of the normal wannabes who think they're cool, who like to burn shit. Because they
You
burn
know
the
that
bridge.
cool guy at the parties who just comes up to your face and gives you shit, right?
That's somehow assuming that you were at party, Shao. In the face of everybody. Your best Jim Carrey impersonation.
All right.
Bulbasaur would be cool. He would be cool, calm, and collected, and then he would take the time in the moment when it was best to swoop in and woo.
Ooh.
The woo-wee.
Woo.
The woo, the wooed. The woo, the wooed.
Okay, before I got to give you guys 3 minutes of closing arguments. I'm going to give you one last difficult challenge.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you much time for it, so you just got to say it quick, okay? Hayden, we'll start with you because we've been starting with Shao.
Fire truck.
What's your 5 words or less case for Bulbasaur as a starter? 5 words or less. What's your case for picking him as a starter?
Can beat first 2 gym leaders. Gym leaders is a
Did you say
double word.
cheerleaders or gym leaders?
Gym leader. Gyms.
Can be
First 2
first-
gyms.
can be first 2 gyms.
Can
Okay.
beat.
Can beat first 2 gyms. Is that a sentence? What does that mean? Anyways, okay.
You gave me 5
Can
words.
beat First 2 gyms. I don't know what gyms is. What is?
GYM.
Just so I know.
It's like bosses, pretty much.
Okay, yeah. I don't know anything.
Yeah,
So gyms where they
bosses.
fight can be
Yes.
first 2 gyms. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I understood your case. That's all.
Not JIMs. GYMs.
Who's this gym guy? He must be having a good party if Bulbasaur is the first one there. Okay, Shao. 5 words or less for your case against Bulbasaur as a starter.
Sucks at everything else.
He said 5 words, not 4.
I said 5 or less. Yeah.
Sucks at everything.
Okay. I'm going to end the... No,
Yeah, Hayden,
we went
we
long.
missed what you said.
It's all right. It was unimportant.
Oh, I thought that was the Royal X. Oh, shit, no. Okay, that's it for the rounds, everybody. I want to hear more. Because I have more questions I need to know. But we need to move on to closing statements so that the judge can make their decision. So I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes or less each, again, to present your closing arguments. And we're going to start with Hayden, as per his choice, winning the flip at the beginning of the episode. And then Shao will get the last 3 minutes. No. Yes, the last 3 minutes. Hayden, your time. And you're arguing why I should pick Bulbasaur, why he's a good starter choice. 3 minutes begins now.
Bulbasaur would be the best starter, as I just said in my 5-word review of him. He can beat the first 2 gyms, which means you've got the best chance of successfully learning the ropes of the game and easing your way into it, because it didn't become the world's most popular handheld game for being difficult. I don't think. I mean, the whole concept of it is amazing, but he's very easy to start with. He can beat the first 2 gyms. During that time, you can find the other 2 Pokemon. His evolution, like we mentioned, going back through all the arguments, is a great metaphor for middle school, where you're finding yourself. You start off as the small, shy type, and you develop and you grow and you bloom into, your Venusaur at the end of it. So you've got that to think about and to look forward to when you pick your Bulbasaur, of where he's going to end up for you. He's also one of the few early on that is multiple types of Pokemon. So he has got attacks from 2 different types. He's not just settled on water ones. He's not just settled on fire ones. He's got grass. He's got poison. He might also even have some ground type ones. I'm not too sure off the top of my head. But he's multifaceted initially, which is another reason why he is a great starter, because he's got more than one trick. He's not a one-trick pony, Looks are deceiving. I'm throwing peace signs again. He looks cute and cuddly with a bulb of a flower on his back. I know that the opposition here keeps calling it a garlic bulb, but it is in fact a flower. And the biggest powers come from that. The leech seed, the solar beam, the sleep powder, all comes from the bulb. He's got nothing but bangers for attacks and defenses. Sleep powder is a great defense move. I feel like he would be my choice if I was to play the games again from scratch. I'd be like Bulbasaur all the way. Give me those first 2 gyms to get back into it. I haven't played the game in decades. Those original ones. So boom. He's my man.
I didn't get that.
My phone is talking to me, sorry. Bulbasaur's my man, and his little voice, Bulbasaur, is great. He doesn't sound like a whining kid to me at all. He sounds badass. He's obviously seen some shit. That's why his voice is a little croaky. I rest.
Smoking too much of his own grass.
Hayden rests his case. Okay. Thank you very much, Hayden. A lot to consider with that. Very good. Shao, are you ready for your closing arguments as to why Bulbasaur is the worst? Why I shouldn't pick him as a starter?
Yep.
Your 3 minutes begins now.
Ladies and gentlemen, by no means do I think Bulbasaur is a bad Pokemon. But when it comes to today's topic, of which is the worst starter, there is no denying, okay? There are way better choices, Squirtle and Charmander, and Charmander turns into Charizard, who is arguably one of the strongest Pokemon in that game, not just for the starters, okay? Now, Hayden mentions that Bulbasaur is a dual element type, which is grass and poison. And sure, that's decent, but that also has its weaknesses. There's so many different types of elements that it's weak to later on in the game, mid-game and end-game. Now, when you play Pokemon, it tells a lot about your character, who you choose, okay? do you want to coast through life and just start off with a little like Hayden always says it's easy at the beginning because of the two gyms, the two boss levels that you play. But later on, I'm sorry, but Bulbasaur is gonna have a tough time against some of the other ones. Okay, especially the Elite Four, the final boss. They have psychic types, they have ghost types. Bulbasaur is weak against all of those. Venusaur is weak against all of those. Okay. Squirtle and Charmander will have a much easier time, and it will give you a more fuller experience. You're gonna coast through the first little bit. You're not gonna experience that much because it's too easy, according to Hayden. So why not enjoy the game? Why not just enjoy the game and just explore all the possibilities, because Bulbasaur is so limited. Like I said, the move set, okay? He can't learn a lot of the HMs that are crucial, okay? So I will not tell you who you should pick, but I hope today you will make the smart decision and not pick Bulbasaur.
He rests his case. Wow. Wow.
I don't really know what his
Guys.
case was, but he rest. Sleep powdered from Bulbasaur. Sorry, I'll
I
let the judge
appreciate you.
final words.
Yeah. I appreciate your fine points that you made. You both brought a lot to the table. I didn't know how this was going to go. I didn't know what this was going to be like. I know nothing about Pokemon. Shao, you asked, you asked if I did, and that you guys are in this big argument, or Hayden asked, I can't remember, one of you two.
Mm-hmm.
And I know nothing. And I thought this would be an interesting way to learn through your guys' opinions and thoughts. I don't know what was real. I don't know what wasn't real. But the question was, the argument was is Bulbasaur the worst starter? That was the argument. That's what you guys were arguing. For and against. And after careful consideration of arguments, sass levels, and overall pokey persuasiveness, do I believe Bulbasaur is the worst starter? And I have to say, no. He's fine and dandy.
Yay!
Yeah, that's my thing. You make good points, Shao, for why he's terrible. But I think as a whole, no, I mean this. And as a whole, I felt that it could be argued that as a starter strictly, he's not worse. Just starting the game. I could see how as you get further in, how, yes, maybe he's not such a good choice. But for just that sole purpose of starting the game, I can understand why Hayden would argue he's not the worst.
Now, Judge,
That is the
may I
rule
ask
in
you a
this court.
Can I ask you one question, Judge? If you were to start the game, who would you pick? You have Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Charmander.
Wow. That's good. Hayden's holding up a graphic.
Oh my God.
What is that thing? What is that?
That's a very
Bulbasaur.
happy and love Bulbasaur.
I take it back. I take it back. He is the worst. Leave him behind. No, the ruling stands. But listen, I do want to do this again with you guys. And I'm really interested to hear, if you guys would be so interested, to hear not necessarily a starter, but who you think would be the best Pokemon. As long as they're different. and maybe we can get into another one of these because this is very interesting. And I'm really interested to know what you listening thought. Did you think that Bulbasaur is the worst starter? Do you feel more connected to Shao and what he had to say? Or do you think he's a fine starter and he's not the worst? And understand more with Hayden and this court, which is the most, what are courts?
Ruling
Authentic,
authority.
real, ruling authority, yes.
Yes.
over Pokemon. No, I'm interested. You guys should email us. Who do you think is Bulbasaur the worst or not the worst? We'll post some of this debate up on the socials as well, and you can comment there. But yeah, if you're digging the show, don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're listening. Those social medias I mentioned, Chummy.thumbs, TikTok, Chummy Thumbs everywhere else. Hayden is up to no good.
I'm
He's
up to
such
no
a,
good.
he's such a Bulbasaur right now. Oh my god, that thing is working.
Such a Bulbasaur. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, there he is.
I want to say technical issues, but it's just Hayden
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to hold something. What is it? What are you doing? Can we just hold it?
I
Can we post the
can't.
video part of this? This
Oh,
is
yeah.
hilarious.
Hayden, I'm seriously, you're
15,
2
20
strikes.
seconds of him just fucking up.
I dropped my
This
Apple
court will
Pencil.
change its ruling. You can file an appeal anytime you want, Chef.
Okay.
There he is. There's the winner
There's
of the
Bulbasaur.
day.
Oh, he's so fucking cute.
See?
Garlic on its back.
Oh. And what does he
Flower.
sound like again?
Flower.
Actually, Shao, can you
Yes, sir.
do our sign off in your best Bulbasaur, please?
You don't
You
want
can
to do a
only say
Charmander.
Bulbasaur, but okay.
I know Pokemon can only say their name, but I'll give you, for the sake of the court, you may use actual English.
Do you have your cup ready, Hayden?
Yep. I wanted to hear him do it in his Charmander voice, but Bulbasaur will do just fine because he's the winner of the day.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, that's your punishment. That's the.
That's my. That's what. My,
that-
yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So you can't make him overly.
Don't worry, people. Just another 30.
Cut this.
to
Cut the.
45 seconds.
Cut. Yeah. Cut this part out. Okay. What's
No,
our
no,
line?
don't.
Remember the show.
Fuck. Hayden's doing his thing.
I'm sorry.
He's
I'm
such a
sorry. I'm
Bulbasaur.
sorry.
Bulba, keep on thumbing, Bulba.
Bulbasaur!
I hate losing.
What? Did you speak words? What happened? I can't
Yeah,
wait to hear that.